What is in here? A brine shrimp hatcher. Over here we have a multitude of them. In fact, these ones here are the bottles that I use on a regular basis, and I get quite a few twice a day. I'm harvesting, and that's the morning and evening. Also, there is this special bottle on the end, and this one is San Francisco style brine shrimp. And what I do is I will use that only for the first few days of fry that are super small. So if the fry are something like black rams, electric blue rams, maybe some very tiny, maybe Danios or something that is just hatched, before they can get onto the bigger brine shrimp, they need the smaller one. So they just need a day or two. So I don't need to actually create a lot. What I need is to always have some on hand for a small fry. Remember, when they're very, very, very small, the fry will just eat one or two shrimps and their stomachs are full. So, and of course, you make thousands and thousands of shrimps when you pour in all those eggs in a 2-liter bottle. So I'm looking at something that will do something a little less in magnitude. These would be brine shrimp with the idea that I could produce maybe just a few. Another little aspect of the brine shrimp that I have come across is that the San Francisco tend to actually live longer, or they're probably hatching later. So in other words, they're hatching in 24 hours, you'll have brine shrimp. And then also throughout the week, I can actually bubble that same jar for several days and always be able to collect some very small San Francisco style brine shrimp. So I'm going to take my scissors and see what I got here. This is something that you've probably already figured out what I'm doing. But for those who might be interested in seeing, it is okay, we've got a box and it's called the Hobby Artemia. Well, we're going to take a look at this particular product because the reason is this product is going to actually produce for me without even the need for aeration. But what it does is it produces brine shrimp, and that's it. You're looking at it. There is some instructions, I guess. Yep, there are some instructions, and it's just one little simple page. Simple as that. So what I'm looking at is a device that just sits there and hatches. Now the light, as you can see from the blackness and the darkness and the sealed top, it only allows for the brine shrimp to see the light from one location, the center. And if I pull out the sieve, I've got brine shrimp. So watch this. So I got brine shrimp, they're congregating at the center, and I just pull this up, and now I've just got a bunch of brine shrimp. Now, the advantage to this is I only need small quantities, and I'm going to use small quantities for the very tiniest of brine shrimp, and also I can put it back, and then as they hatch more, they'll come and congregate again, and I'll just keep doing this until eventually there's less and less and less coming, and then I think I'll just reset it and put some more eggs in there. So let's see what it looks like on the inside. There's a lid, and there seems to be, little pipette, which is kind of nice. They even have a little measurement spoon, very tiny, which is good because that's all you'd really want to do in the beginning anyway. And then there's this baffle. The baffle is put there also because you can see there's rings to it. So we're going to give this a try and check it out and maybe demonstrate how it is. But notice how it works. This sits on top of here. Now, with this on top, the brine shrimp are going to continue to go towards the light. So they're going to keep going towards the center. This is translucent, so it kind of gives them the idea. So obviously, where you put the eggs, which kind of float, they're going to be on the outer side. They're going to be completely on the outer side. And the moment they hatch, then they're going to go towards the light, and they have to go up and down and up and around until they get to the center. I can see how this works. Very simple. So putting the right salinity, and then the water with the correct salinity, and then of course using the sieve in the middle to do the work. Okay, so it's as simple as that, and I'm going to give it a try, and I hope everyone has an opportunity to see the results when I show it off on our live streams. I know most members will always watch the live streams, so at least you'll get to see that, or I can make a video on it as time goes on. So let's see. I have I have to read the instructions. Yeah, there is a little spout here, and is open and closed by just turning, and I think it's for really pouring out if you need to pour out. Let me see. The instructions say that it needs to be in a warm, well-lit area where the hatchery dish can be left undisturbed for 24 hours. No aerator is required within the dish. Because the shallow depth of the water, there is sufficient oxygen exchange at the surface. And so 25 grams of salt equal to 1 2/3 table level spoons or 5 level teaspoons is fine, and into 1 liter. Fresh tap water or distilled water at room temperature. I don't know why I would use distilled water. Distilled water would be, that wouldn't have the hardness necessary to hatch. That seems to be a little contradictory. Preferably 70 to 80 degrees. So you set up the bottom portion of the disc in a warm, well-lit area, can be left undisturbed. An incandescent light is ideal for providing both light and extra warmth. Fish dish with hatching solution to the fill line indicator on the inside of the basin, and place concentrate white ring divider in the center. Place the mesh cup in the center using the small spoon included with the dish. Sprinkle 1 or 2 heaping spoonfuls of brine shrimp on top of the water around the outermost area of the ring divider. Do not stir the eggs into the water. Carefully place the lid on the dish. Position the lid so that the mark arrow is in the closed position and let stand for 24 to 28 hours. Depending upon the room temperature, the brine shrimp should begin hatching in 24 hours. Now that's what I expect. That is the case. They're protactic, and therefore they begin to hatch and swim to the light. And then you can extract them with the mesh sieve. It is common to harvest multiple times from the dish in a 48-hour period. So to clean, dump the shell and the remaining unhatched eggs and clean the dish with hot water. Periodically use a light chlorine solution to disinfect the dish and other parts. Okay. So that is it. It's a one-sided page. There is nothing more to it, and I don't know whether I would even use this, but I guess you could just go down there and squirt some up. But of course, that's salt water. I like the idea of having a dish, and you could even rinse them if you didn't want salt water in your. Well, you're going to pull it out. There's not going to be no water, right? And then, okay. Wow, that's it. And I'm looking forward to giving this contraption a try and seeing how well it does. If it's able to provide the babiest and smallest baby brine shrimp for my small immediate hatches for a few days, this is going to be ideal. It'll be a lot less work than using the bottle where I've got to, each and every time I want to harvest, I got to put a bright light and I've got to set up. But the most funny part of it is with San Francisco, and this is a little something, I don't know why, but I'm going to tell you something that I've observed that is, I've never seen mentioned or shown, but the shells don't separate very well on the San Francisco brine shrimp direct eggs. And what I find is that unhatched eggs, there are quite a few of them. This method, they don't ever leave the outer ring. And so therefore, it would be a very nice way to get a clean, very clean process of getting shrimp out. And that's what I have found really necessary, because otherwise I've been using the baby brine shrimp from the bottle and I try to siphon out from the concentrate at the light. And when I do that, I end up still with tons of like shells and eggs that really shouldn't be in the tank, right? They shouldn't be there. So anyway, this is going to be maybe an opportunity to separate completely, because the shells aren't going to migrate, but the actual shrimps are going to actually be able to migrate towards the light. And so that is something that I really look forward to and seeing how it works. So without any more talk, this is the new unboxing, and I hope it works, and I will keep you informed. So enjoy this video for what it is, for a new item that just arrived yesterday. I ordered this, and it was supposed to arrive Sunday, and I thought it was odd because it was coming from the States, and I know they can't get it here in 2 days. I thought it was very strange. And then they came back and said, oh, it's not deliverable on Sunday. It won't be delivered until the 24th, which is 2 more weeks from now. And I was expected not to get it for 2 more weeks. And then it appeared 2 days later on my porch. So all I got to say is, don't know how they found it and how they got it here so quick, but it was here. And the price was super cheap. I think I used some points I had from my credit card, and I don't think I even paid anything for it. I mean, I had the credits, but I got it for free. So that was just a benefit. So it actually ended up not costing me a thing. But thank you very much, everyone, for being a member and watching this video on a brine shrimp hatcher from Hobby. Have a good one, and certainly keep it real.